Hello, everyone, and good morning. It's Lisa, and we're here for our Insider Power Hour. And I would like to get started because we have a really interesting topic today. And I'm going to pull up my screen that we want to share. And I always do this. I always get a little conflab here. There we go. There we go. So, my presentation and put myself over here. So this is the Insider Power Hour, August 25th, 2021. I am Lisa Sarga, your nurse practitioner, functional medicine practitioner. So I want to welcome you all today. The group visits provide an opportunity for you to connect with me and my team or experts on a weekly basis to learn and add information to help you on your health journey. Well, what happens? Well, the first 30 minutes of the Insider Power is an educational presentation or a guest lecture. It will be recorded and placed in the Solutions Learning Library. If you are an enrolled member of the practice, you will get a specific code so you can access these educational presentations or lectures free. The format is generally a lecture, can vary subjects, which what will happen today, lab review, Q&A, and then a lecture series. Sometimes we'll be doing a series of lectures on a particular topic. The next 30 minutes will be a closed group discussion and it will be guided. It will not be recorded. This is your opportunity to really have that live one-on-one discussion with me, clarity, community support. Your participation is optional. However, it can be very insightful. What are the rules? Well, we want you to be curious and open-minded. Everyone is at a different stage in their journey. We are students and learning. No one has all the answers, especially me. Emotions are welcomed and embraced because it can be emotional at times. But don't think of terms in black and white, but shades of gray. So here is one last thing. Everything that you say will be heard by everyone else in the room, especially in the closed group meeting. The group visits involve disclosing private medical information and or social information. Please respect the privacy of all participants. Keep this information confidential. Be attentive and curious. Respect others' journeys. Uphold diversity and practice non-judgment. Show encouragement when you can, and change happens on different timelines. So be patient for everyone and be open to learning. So the topic for today is the sounds of healing. So I just want to see if I can bring this up. And I hope you can hear it. And if somebody, give me either a hands up or in the chat if you can hear that. I want to make sure that if you can hear that particular song. This song, okay, so this is low. Let me pull it up a little higher. We'll just listen for a minute. So that is a specific song called Weightless by Marconi Union. And I will show it to you on, this is on YouTube. So we're gonna actually talk about this song here probably halfway through the this particular lecture. I'm gonna turn it off right now. I turned it down. We'll talk about what this really means. So let's get started. I found this amazing website called mindisthemaster.com, sound frequency healing. So one thing that I think everybody is aware of now is that there are biological rhythms and vibrations all through nature, right? I was sitting outside and just listening to the sounds of nature, right? So there are high frequency sounds like birds singing their songs. I was sitting next to a hummingbird feeder and I could hear the hum, the low vibration of the hum of the hummingbird. And then we have songs or sounds like dogs barking and lawnmowers going. And so we're surrounded by frequency sound. But however, we personally have our own vibrations. We have our heartbeat. We have our own neurological synchronization of our heartbeat and our breath. Those particular frequencies are very susceptible to outside influences. I'm sure that you've read some information about how colors, certain colors, and we'll talk about colors at the end of this, actually influence our mood, right? If you've been on YouTube or you've got a college student or even a high school student or you yourself been in school, I used to play concentration music in the background while I was studying because those particular sounds and vibrations get your brain into a certain pattern. And that's what meditation does. Meditation brings your brain waves into a certain level of megahertz consciousness. So that's a really deep subject. But I like this website because it goes through some of the actual megahertz frequencies and what they do. So we are actually, there's been a lot of information out there about electronic magnetic fields as well. You know, our cell phones, I think there's a certain population that is really very opposed to 5G and all of those things. I'm not sure what all of that means, but electronic magnetic fields also are a frequency. And understanding what that means and how that affects your body is sometimes well worth looking into. So I will scroll down. Everybody's going to get a sheet with all of these websites that I have up so that you can kind of take a look and go into a really deep dive. This is great because there's all kinds of, I have no affiliation with this company whatsoever, but you can get Sounds of Healing, which I think is fantastic. You don't have to buy anything. A lot of this stuff is free on YouTube. Here are some of the instruments that are used in sound frequency. Singing bowls, I'm sure some of you have heard that. I have plenty of wind chimes around my house, and I usually get pretty angry when there's a windy night because it keeps me awake. Rain sticks, drums, I know specifically people who do a lot of drumming therapy and singing bowl therapies. Gongs are used in a lot of religions. This didgeridoo, I believe, is from Australia, and I've heard it, and it's pretty wild. It's a pretty wild sound. So here we get into what these really mean for human health. And I'm not going to read every single one of these to you, but look at this. Isn't this amazing? Flickering lights and the sounds of 40 megahertz or hertz have been used in Alzheimer's therapy to fight the symptoms of dementia and stimulate memory. Wow. And you can watch a video on here. That's amazing. Think about that. Sounds, which we are all exposed to anyway, but if we can harness those sounds to allow our body to heal or maximize our potential, no side effects to this. You don't have to take a pill. And it can be very, very pleasing, right? So there's a group of frequencies called the solfeggio frequencies, and I haven't delved into this particular list of frequencies in depth, but a lot of the science that you will read about this will talk about these particular frequencies that have been used in a lot of our science. So this one particularly talks about healings of cuts, burns, and other physical wounds occurring and allowing, supposed, you know, so there's real no, be careful because we don't want to make declarative claims that these will absolutely do these things. But what we're trying to do is allow the body to be maximized so that they can enhance these kinds of things. So definitively, let me just say that some of these frequencies have not been fully studied, vetted, but they are certainly ones that have shown to have correlation, but no specific scientific definitive statement. So I want to be very clear on that. But still, again, no side effects. So if it may help, why not? And it's perfectly acceptable to use these. Again, here are these frequencies. A lot of these frequencies of 396 have been used in spiritual music, removing negative emotions, and such as grief, and turning to positive and joyful ones. Okay, think about everything that we have been through in the last almost 2 years now, and all of the negative messages that we get on a daily basis. To cleanse that away, wouldn't that be nice to have this frequency in the background to help counteract those negative feelings throughout the day? And then as we keep going, you'll see, I think the one that I really wanted to talk about, this one, 528, is a musical tone and very popular. And it has been associated and used in Native populations in written history. So, you know, again, it's a love frequency, right? Wouldn't that be great? There's one in here also about relationships. Which one was that? Oh, 639 right here. Oh, good. I'm right on it. So some of these talk about heart chakras. We're going to talk about the chakra healing, which is a frequency healing as well, kind of on the lines of acupuncture, kind of, but without that particular type of physical intervention. So harmonious interpersonal relationships. Wow. So think about the next time you get together with your family, or you're having a family function, or you want to have a discussion with a significant other or a difficult person in your life. Would you like to have this playing in the background? You're going to have a meeting at work and you're all going to be brainstorming together, to have this kind of in the background playing to wash over the group. That'd be kind of fun to see what happens, right? Overthinking, intrusive thoughts. This is very important as well. This one also, the 963, has been used quite a lot. And the reason why I'm bringing up these particular frequencies is because when we go to look at some of the wearable devices and or sound therapy, they're using these frequencies to create these kinds of environments in our body, right? This goes into a lot more information about human medicine. I really like this subject, and I'm even thinking about doing a complete course on it, because I think that sound therapy has a place. It is not the only tool that you should use in trying to combat these things, but it is a tool that you can bring with you. It's portable and in a lot of cases free. So it can be used together with other things. You can use colors in your office. You can use the sound frequency to create a very calming environment when you come into your office, or maybe even into a conference room where you want people to be creative, right? In your family, have a room set up that is your healing room, if you like, a library, a corner of your bedroom, things like that. So you can look at this. I love this one too, decreased pain perception. So pain is a complicated subject. I used to be a pain management nurse and nurse practitioner, and chronic pain issues are emotionally draining, does a tremendous amount of damage to you emotionally and physically. And so decreasing the effects that pain has on you is really something that's worth looking into, right? Meditation, we know meditation, and this is a clinical fact, can reverse DNA damage. So again, we're trying to get the body into a certain frequency tone, okay? So this is a fantastic website. I just kind of stumbled upon this and I'm really happy to find it. And of course, you can always look into more of these kinds of websites, but I thought this was very helpful. Low frequency is associated with human illness. Wow, think about that. So these are the things that low frequency sound can actually cause. Listen, this is kind of scary. I don't like this. The government took a look at the application of low frequency sound as a weapon, even further incorporating infrasonic sound technology into crowd dispersal vehicles and tanks. However, when you think about how you can possibly use sound and not create permanent damage in a situation like a rioting crowd, that's doable. I like that, right? We don't want to cause any permanent damage to anyone, but we do want to maybe change their behavior. Here, the solfeggio frequencies are a 6-tone set of musical tones that date back to ancient times. Things like Gregorian chants. So here's the sound therapy and mindful meditation course if you want to take one. Don't know that you need to. Here are where they got this information. So there's a lot more information here. So let's go on to the next thing. So if you've worked with me, you know that I use and recommend a product called Apollo, which has actually been developed here at the University of Pittsburgh. And it is a wearable frequency device. So the frequency pulse goes through your body. You can't now, low frequency, I don't want you to think it's those low frequency bad ones. It's what they mean by low frequency is the sound audible detection. You can't hear it, but you can feel it. So it's not loud like Marconi Union. I do have a practitioner account with this, so I can offer discounts. I want to be very, you don't have to use it. I personally use it. It also works with your heart rate variability. And it also helps with your heart rate variability going up so that you can respond to stressful and recover from stressful events quicker. Okay. That is what, and this is a great website as well to look at heart rate variability, what it really, really means, and how you can change your heart rate variability. There is actually a program called HeartMath, and I'm enrolled in it as a professional. I'm not currently certified in it, but understanding the science and how to apply heart rate variability techniques to increase your heart rate variability. You will find a lot of counselors, cognitive counselors and groups will use this type of therapy to help you with your stress resilience, okay? This is a really cool thing. Again, it's no side effects and it has long-term benefits that happen over time. That's, to me, is absolutely beautiful. There is Harmonic Egg in Pittsburgh in the area, and it uses frequency sound as well as color. And let me see if I can get to what it looks like. There it is. So basically you go into this particular device, they close the door, there's a recliner in here. They put on a frequency sound for something that you're trying to combat. And then they put a corresponding color that will enhance that. This is for people who are on a budget, this can be around $150 a session for an hour. The Apollo Neuro comes out to, I think about 250, somewhere in there. And it looks like Apollo Neuro also has now a twilight color situation, a color release. So they're also marrying that together. You don't have to spend this kind of money to do these kinds of therapies. You can read about it, use the frequencies. What I like about Apollo Neuro is that it truly is portable, however, wearable, and you don't have to think about it all day long. Has many, many different frequencies available to you, but you can also do your own thing with, like we talked about a little bit earlier, about setting up the colors in your room or your office, using YouTube free music or Amazon free music streaming, picking up the frequencies that you want to use. So there's plenty of ways to do this without a lot of investment. Then this is just a little bit about the chakra. If you want to get into chakra healing, there's chakra meditation, there's singing bowls, there's lots of ways for you to incorporate these types of therapies that have no side effects into your life, right? And I think that oh, sorry, stopping screen share. I wasn't doing any of that. So I want to thank you for listening. And I know I always go so quickly with this particular part of the subject matter. This is, as you can see, it can be a really in-depth subject. I really like this subject. I like how you can customize and use these frequencies to create a positive effect on your mental status, on your physical status. And like I said, I use this a lot in my life, just with nature. I think for me, I will talk about this in the closed group session. I want to hear what your favorite high frequency sound in nature is. Maybe you're already doing this and listening to this lecture, you're realizing that there have been some hidden ways that you've been actually doing this and not realizing it. Like, my favorite sound is when I'm sitting just before dawn and I hear the first birds chirping, right? That is a happy, high frequency sound to me. And I like to include that in my life. Another sound that I love is babies laughing, right? That's a fabulous sound. So we'll talk about what is your favorite sound? How could you incorporate sound in your life, in your day? And if you want to include color in what is surrounding you, we'll talk about that as well. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the closed group.